we want to give our flowers to Detroit owned Mia Ray, owner of Glamourholic Lifestyle. She is a self-made millionaire, came from nothing, worked her butt off, so she deserves her flowers.
We also want to give our flowers to our Philly's own AHNIYAH SB. She's the owner of Glam Room. That's a boutique, Hairport, a hair salon, and she just opened Glam Kitchen. She's also 25.
Yes.
Like we gotta give it up to her. She's killing it. And we just want to say, we just want you ladies to keep doing your thing. We see you, the world sees you.
Yeah.
Keep pushing, keep going. And women are the future. We're taking over the world.
We're taking over.
And we're so proud of you ladies. And we just want to give you your flowers.
Welcome back to
What's
the Chat. Today's topic is going to be about
communication.
Yes, communication always get really, really, really deep.
It does, because I feel like this is a major topic because people do not communicate enough in any situationships, relationships, every which way.
But some people don't know how.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Some people don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to go about it the right way.
They don't know how to express themselves all the way either. And jumping right out there, I feel like communicating with friends is like super important. How do you feel like that you are with that? Like, do you feel like you communicate well with your friends?
I feel like I do well with my friends. I feel like I let them know when there's a problem or issue. I feel like sometimes I can come off a little aggressive, but I have no problem with apologizing.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes if I feel like I just jumped out there and I was like kind of like super disrespectful in like a way, but not like disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? But if I feel like somebody felt some type of way about something, this day and age, the woman I'm becoming, I'm learning to take accountability.
Oh, that's good.
And be like, yo, to myself, yo, Shar, that was not okay. You could have said it or you could have went about it this way. Mm-hmm. So then I'll just sit back and then I'll rethink it, and then I'll come back and say, hey, you know what? I do apologize for this and this and that. I love you. You are my friend, and it wasn't that deep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel like that's super major. Like, taking accountability and stuff is super major. And my whole thing with communicating with friends is, I feel like, for me, I feel like I'm still working on communicating with my friends because sometimes I don't always express myself or give a whole explanation or things like that as I would a guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, for a guy, I feel like we'll lay a paragraph out, this, that, and the third. And when it comes to our friends, it's like, oh, whatever. You said this, like, so I try to be very more so like, if you do something to me, hey, Shar, this is not okay. I feel this type of way. I think we could go about this better. Like, not just like, oh, let me call Malia and talk about Shar. Why would Shar do X, Y, and Z to me? This, and it's like, nah. Forget the third party. Let me come straight to the source. Yo, friend, you hurt my feelings. I don't like this. Or whatever the situation is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm getting better with that because a lot of stuff with friends, we sweep under the rug.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's my friend, whatever. And it's like, no, friend, let me tell you how you hurt me or how I don't like this. Because this is a relationship.
Yeah, this is a real relationship. And I'm glad that you touched on it because when people go through third parties and they start involving other people, that's when it becomes a whole big mess. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If you come straight to the person that have done something to you and you felt some type of way, if y'all resolve it there, it ends there.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? When you start involving other individuals, like a third party, oh, let me call my other friend and tell my other friend what she did.
Instead of just going straight to that person.
Going straight to that person, hey, listen, yo, don't talk to me like that. You hurt my feelings. Why did you say this? Why did you say that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then it'll give the other person the chance to say, oh, I didn't even know you felt that way. Mm-hmm. I apologize. You know what I'm saying?
Because back to your word, accountability.
Yeah, accountability. I never knew you felt that way. I do apologize. And I don't never want you to feel that way because I love you as a friend. You
Absolutely.
get what I'm saying? So I think taking accountability and leaving third parties out of things
mm-hmm.
is the best way to go about things, especially when you're trying to grow as an individual and to be like, I don't know, just to be like a better friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
because your friendships are everything. Because it's like, for the most part, most of our friends are like day ones. It's like, oh, I done been here, like we done been friends for decades or whatever. And it's like guys come and go, and we'll somewhat communicate with them more than friends and stuff like that. So I'm heavy on communicating with friends.
And I feel like what a lot of people do is they tend to bottle everything up. This person did this 20 years ago. This person did this 5 years ago. I didn't like what this person said this time. And then when they do something wrong and you call them out on it, then they come back with, oh, well, 20 years ago you did this. And you ain't never been a friend to me because you did this. And I felt some type of way that you did this. And it's like, yo, so that means all these things, you felt this way about me and you all never ever told me. And I'm thinking that we're here with it and we're not, because you got all this build up hate, and not hate far as jealousy, but you got build up hate towards me, and you feel some type of way towards me and you never told me. And I'm thinking everything is good and everything is okay. And you sitting up there and you're holding grudges with me on things that I didn't even know.
Or moving funny with me too.
Moving funny, correct. Moving funny, right? You're moving a certain type of way. You ain't never speak
on something that you felt some way about. Yeah. So instead you swept it under the rug, and then you just like, well, I'm gonna play her like this. And
I'm gonna play her like this.
Nah, exactly. We at the age that we're real friends. Communicate with me. Call me out on my BS. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me know, yo, that was nutty. Don't do that again. Like, I ain't like that. Like, you can check your friends the same way you would check your relationship. Exactly. And it's not the end, or it doesn't mean like, oh, this is you're not real friends, or you're not anything like, oh, this person's against me. Nah, I'm calling you out on it because I want you to be a better person. I want you to be a better friend. And call me out on my BS. Cool. Yes. That's what friends are for. Pull me up. Let me know you ain't like something.
We have to make each other stronger.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And communication is key.
And build each other up, because communication is definitely key.
Do you feel like you're good with communication?
I feel like I am somewhat good with communication now in the space that I'm at. Okay. I felt like, what am I trying to say? Like certain times in my life, I felt like I was, like I said, I came off too aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things hurt my feelings. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. When I look at someone and I look at them as a friend, I don't have many friends. You know what I'm saying? So when I really start to trust in someone, or someone been around me for so many years and I really think that we are friends, certain things that they do, certain things that people do to me hurt my feelings. So if you hurt my feelings, naturally, I feel like I have to hurt your feelings. And I know that that's not the way to go. Growing as a person, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like fighting fire with fire. Absolutely. No, I should always try to be.
Let's communicate with this. As a bigger person. Right, be a bigger person, communicate better. And sometimes things can just easily get resolved with communication. Like, you know, in all aspects of all relationships, you really can resolve stuff with just having a simple talk or a sit down and understanding. And a part of communication that people don't understand is listening and understanding, and sometimes stepping out of your own shoes and understanding where another person is coming from. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not just your side, like really listening to this person and saying, damn, I can understand how you could take that way. Even though I wouldn't have. I might not wouldn't have said that, or I wouldn't have did that. I get how you could have, because you're a different person than me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody don't have the same mentality.
With communication, I feel like I'm getting a little better at it, because I somewhat shut down. Like, or I go that, or sometimes I either shut down or I get really aggressive. Like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I have to, for me to communicate, sometimes I have to shut you down. Like I have to stop and I have to think about it and marinate and then come back and talk to a person about something.
So that's good though.
Yeah, because before I used to lash out like, now it's like, let me think about this. Like, remember what I sent you the other day? And you was like, wow, this was worded so well. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it took me a second, like, let me woosah for a moment. Let me gather my thoughts and then let me speak. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I used to feel like I would speak before I thought. Yeah. And now I'm getting real big and then feel like, oh, that's just how I am. That's how I talk or that's how I come off. And now I'm getting more so like, damn, let me think about this. Let me word this correctly and let me come at the situation this way because I feel like my point will get across better. I'll get heard better when if I come this way versus if I'm rah-rah-rahing, like, you know, fighting fire with fire. Like,
fighting fire with fire.
Instead of just coming from a calmer tone or a different place, I feel like I'm getting a little better with it.
That's good. I feel like I'm getting better at it. I just hate when I do go off like that because then I sit back and I read the text messages or I think back about like everything that I said and I'm like, damn, did I have to go that hard? You know what I'm saying? Did I have to like try to break this person down? And honestly, I don't want to break nobody else down. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to tear nobody else down. Like, I don't want to do that. Just because they hurt my feelings, I shouldn't have to try to verbally abuse or attack someone. You know what I'm saying? Exactly,
yes.
Because when our feelings are hurt naturally as humans, we feel like we have to like attack, exactly. So I mean, for everybody that's listening, just try to like work on it. You know, just the communication with your friends though, because your friends are your partners.
Yes, and your friends be around a lot longer than anybody else. Like I plan on growing old with you. I plan on growing old with my friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? So our relationship really matters. Like, it matters to me because these are the people that I'm going to share my life with. You get to see every aspect of my life when I'm sad, happy, my wedding, my this, my that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So communication is very major. It's key in any.
And sometimes like friendships be around longer than relationships.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see your friends through a lot of relationships.
Through a lot of things that they're going through in their life. And the steps that they're taking to become a better person.
Yeah, you see your friends' whole journey, especially if you're real friends, not these friendships that be going on social media, but like your real life friends. Like, you have to communicate with your friends. You have to, you know, have that open line of communication, not talking to third party, just coming directly to the source.
I hate the third party thing.
Me too. Don't call my friend and tell her, you know what she did? She got on my nerves. She did this and that. No,
but you know what's so crazy? You know I'm not like that. You know, if I feel some type of way about anything, you know I come straight to the person.
It's like, no, let me, look, did you just say that? Because this is
right. And then, like, we going to get down to the bottom of it. We're going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that's what you're supposed to do with your friendships. Because girls will be so quick, oh, I don't fuck with her, and to cut a girl off, but give a guy chance at the chance at the chance at the chance. Like, wait, hold on. Well, you could have really just communicated with your dog, like.
And then sometimes it's really just that simple.
It really is. You know what I'm saying?
Because sometimes all this beef and commotion and all this beef and everything that's going on, sometimes it don't be that serious. It really be a bunch of he say, she say. Once the third party people start getting involved, they make things a lot deeper than what it really is.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel like, how are you with your child, like communicating with your child? Because I feel like that's really, really important too.
It is. It's super major to me, especially like this day and time. Because I feel like when we were younger, children didn't have a voice. You know what I'm saying? It was like your child stay in a child's place. It didn't matter how you felt. The adults said what they said. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let me stop you because I'm still like that with my child. Stay in a child's place.
I am to a certain extent. But I feel like with Nyla, I feel like we communicate so well. Like, if I like of course, I feel like a child needs to stay in a child's place. Absolutely. We're not going to overstep our boundaries. But I like for her to express to me, Mom, you hurt my feelings.
Oh, for sure.
Mom,
for
I
sure,
didn't
for
like,
sure.
like, and I apologize to my daughter.
For
like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I may lash at her, like, if she did something, oh, Nala, you did this, however I'm coming. And then sometimes I'll come back, hey, Nala, did you understand what was going on? Mm-hmm. This is why I was talking about, and I'll communicate with her, because most times my point get across more when I sit down and talk to her and I hear her side and hear how she's feeling, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I really like to keep an open line of communication, because communication starts at home. If you can't communicate with your parents and feel as though you have a voice in your household, how are you going to grow up to be an adult that knows how to communicate and articulate and advocate for yourself, because you didn't never have a voice? You was always told, shut up. No, absolutely not. You're going to stay in a child's place. Yeah, we ain't going to overstep our boundaries, but you are allowed to have a voice. Yes. You can speak and you can let me know, Mom, I didn't like how you said that to me. I didn't like the way you talked to me. It hurt my feelings. It was me. And I can apologize and let a kid know, I apologize. I was wrong for talking to you like that, but I meant what I said. Mm-hmm. I may have not said it correctly. Let me rephrase it.
Yeah. So sometimes we tend to give our kids chances after chances after chances instead of saying something the first. Instead of saying something the first couple of times, and then we might do lash out on them because now at this point you fed up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And then they all now
they all got a little puppy face on.
Especially crybaby.
Like, you done did 20 million things.
And there you get hollered at, and y'all Virgos is something else. You know, Nala's a Virgo, so she's extra sensitive. Yes. Like, y'all is something else. So, I'm real big on it. How about you?
Yeah, I'm big on communication, but I got a boy, so it's a little weird. So I'll, if I'm talking and talking and talking, like my son, he just be looking at, he'll just stare at me like, I think he feel like I just talk too much. But I'm really just trying to get my point across, and I'm trying to make him understand certain things. You know what I'm saying?
And eventually he will.
He'll start to understand where I'm coming from. And then sometimes he'll just be like, he'll just get closed off like, all right, Mom, all right. And I'm just like, no, it's not alright.
No, but that's trying to shut you up. All right, Mom, like, no, let's talk about
shut me up so you can just go back.
Explain to me what happened, what's going on, what's the problem.
Yeah, he's not really verbal. So, in certain situations, when he wants stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if he was to do something at school, we would definitely have that conversation. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't chastise him.
Right, it's like, let's talk about this. What happened?
What am I about to put my hands on you for something that you've done? We gotta talk about this. We gotta figure this out.
Because I can actually fix this problem with words versus me beating you. Because after I beat you, we got nowhere.
We got nowhere.
I gotta beat you.
You're not gonna cry if I punch you. So it's like, honestly, it didn't get nowhere. So we gotta have this conversation. Mm-hmm. Hey, why did you do this? Why did you do that? I did this because I felt some type of way about this. Okay, well, you don't have to feel no type of way about this, because this person, shouldn't have that much control over your emotions.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to teach our kids communication, right? Yes. And how to communicate and how to express themselves when they frustrated and things of that nature. So I really feel like communication is like plays a really big part in your child life.
It does play a major part in parenting. Like, you have to communicate with your children. You can't just shut them down and tell them like they don't have a voice. No, you're a child, but you have a voice.
Chastise them all the time. Like, you beating this child and you don't even understand why this child is angry, why this child is going to school acting these certain ways, like
acting out, lashing out. You have to talk to them. You have to communicate. Know what's going on in their world.
Gotta know what's going on in their world. Maybe they getting bullied at school. Maybe they're getting touched. You know what I'm saying?
All types of things.
You know what I'm saying? So you really don't know what's really going on and why these kids be so angry and so disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And to sit and you talk and a lot of times, honestly, people need to start spending more time with their kids.
That's where I was going.
because the kids are probably just acting out because they want attention.
And children really need attention.
Yes,
You have to give children attention.
They do. They need attention. Just like how girls get their men attention and affection. These
You
kids
have to
need
give
this.
it to these children too, or they'll go searching elsewhere for it, and they start ending up in different type of stuff that you don't want them in. And another thing,
not even that, like just going to school and just being super disrespectful and acting out and being class clown because they just feeding for their attention. And it's like, yo, if only the parents knew, like they just screaming out for help.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's all fall under communication. We have to communicate with our kids and find out our kids' needs.
Another thing I was trying to say, with communicating with your children, I've always been super, super vocal with Nala about knowing that no one can put anything in your head to not tell me anything.
Yeah.
Or Monica, like, you get what I'm saying? We are here. So, because I never want her to feel like a person can have mind control where don't tell your mom, no matter what, like, oh no, they said they was going to do this or that to you. I'm the biggest, baddest thing walking.
Mm-hmm.
Baby.
You gotta know this.
And you know how I'm coming. So it's like, our communication got to be here because you got to know somebody touch you, somebody do this, somebody do that. Your mother's coming. I'm right beside
coming.
You. So our communication, now we're kids feel like, oh my God, I didn't tell my mom because I was scared. My baby, she pick up the phone right away. Mom, they said X, Y, Z. Mom, they said, like, She had a phone since she was 3. We've been communicating.
For real, and that's how it should be.
Absolutely.
And I feel like a lot of people need to start spending more time with their child. And sometimes it's okay for you and your child to go somewhere. You and your child to do something.
Date night with your kids.
Yeah, like date nights with your kids. Like, get the time to really know your child, because honestly, we know our child, but we don't know our child.
No, they be cutting. You know
what I'm saying? They cut something.
Oh, I know them when they in that room and
y'all know as parents, y'all hear y'all kids on these games, and y'all are like, who is that in that room? That's a whole different person.
And then my child walk out the room like, hey mom.
Yeah, with a whole level voice.
Absolutely not. I heard you in here.
There you time.
I heard you in here cutting.
Yeah. So yeah, we just gotta try to be more supportive of our kids, spend more time, communicate, and just try to be the best parent we can be, because at the end of the day, our kids are our future. And our kids are going to be the ones that take care of us when we get old.
Mm-hmm. And I'm making sure Nolly put me in on nurse home.
Tremendous Hearts Home Care. Hello.
Yes. At least get a check to take care of me. Don't put me over there with them people. Do you feel like you communicate good with business? Like starting off with being starting off as a young entrepreneur, how's your communication for your business as it was before and how you are now?
Okay, so as of right now, I have business partners. It be kind of rough because when you got business partners, like they want certain things and you want something else, so y'all have to come to like a agreement and try to figure out what's the best solution or the best way to go about certain things. Yeah, so it be kind of hard. But I mean, you know, we get it done. It's definitely hard because everybody have different opinions on different things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard, but you definitely just try to get it done. As far as communicating with my customers, I handle all of that, and I feel like my customers are my top priority because they are the brand. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. They are the reason this business
is
standing.
Yeah, and it's been standing for years now. So they support us, and I can't do nothing but give them great customer service and sometimes great sales. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I talk to my customers and try to accommodate them the best way I can. I'm not the type of business owner to be like, oh, okay, well, let's say somebody purchased something last week and it didn't get shipped out yet. Oh, okay, and they need it for like their birthday or something. Oh, okay, well, you should have ordered next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like that.
Let me accommodate you.
Let me try to accommodate you. Let me try to, we're going to figure something out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even if you local, hey, you know what? Come pick up. You know what I'm saying? Come pick up. You know what? Just for that, I did say that I ship out in 3 to 5 days. It's not there. I'm going to accommodate you. I'm going to ship next day.
Right.
And it's a loss for me, but at the end of the day, I still know that this customer appreciate the services that she got,
and she'll be back.
She'll be back.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like communicating in that department is really, really, really important because a lot of people are so rude
and bad with communication.
Oh my God!
You can email a person, "Hey, what happened to my order? Hey, what's going?" Never respond back, or you never there when you're here for appointment. Hey, I'm outside. Where's my hairdressers? Hey, with all these rules, but don't communicate with you.
Don't communicate. Yeah. So we gotta. I feel like we gotta get better, and I feel like I gotta improve too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's always room for. It's always room for improvement.
As a businesswoman and like communicating, which is me and my partners. You know, as far as that too. So
right.
So how do you feel like you are with business?
I feel like I'm really good. I feel like I always had good customer service because, you know, I'm a nice talkative type of person. But I had to get better with like advocating for myself. Like I would do a lot of when I first opened the beauty lab, I would do a lot of extra pleasing, like come in on my days off. Like if a person, because I don't work weekends, if a person needed, I was like, oh, I'll come in this, that, and the third, just trying to make sure I'm doing a good job. But now I feel like I communicate well, but I still stand on this is what I said. This is my policy. Yeah. This. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I used to do a lot of extra bending just to make sure I was pleasing. And now I feel like I'm more like, you're going to get great service and you're going to get great communication, but this is what it is. And my what I said, like even enforcing my late policy, like if you're late after a certain period of time, you have to pay to still come in for the service. Yeah. Now there's a fee on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't just say, oh, my appointment was 11 o'clock. Well, it's 2:30 and I'm here. And it's like, no, there's a fee. Yeah. And you know, like, and I feel like, I communicate that very well. Like this is how I'm going to run things, and this is what it's going to be. Yeah. And I feel like a part of communicating that people need to do is reading. Yeah. When booking services and stuff, people have to read because you make me have to communicate extra when you're not reading the rules and following how things go.
I want to touch based on you just standing on business. It's basically far as like policies and stuff go. I feel like I did a lot of bending too in my years of working at the store and you know just running the store and everything like that. I felt like if my policy is no return but exchanges with receipt and tags, why am I letting you bring something back that you wore
with no tags?
With no tags, and it's like, come on, clearly you wore it.
And it's like, you want to please your customers.
And it's like, I want to please you and everything like that, but what was you doing in this jumpsuit? Like, come on.
And like, girl, I saw your video. You was twerking at your birthday and you cut up.
You cut up real big.
And then you want to bring it back to us, because absolutely not.
And you know that you got a size deal. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like,
so I feel like I used to do a lot of that. Like, oh, okay, all right, well, that's cool. Just find something else for the same price. And I feel like, yo, I'm not doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? My rules are my rules. If it say no exchange without receipt and tag still being on,
that's the rules.
The item, that's what it is. So I got better with that. I feel like
standing on what you said, and I feel like that takes time, you know, because in the beginning you start off so lenient because you want to please everybody.
You want the customers, you know what I'm saying, and you want them to be able to like they have a good experience. But at the same time, it's like, yo,
you still have to. I'm still a person. I still have to, you know, I gotta stand on what I'm on. Another thing that I know that I need to work on for his communication for him is emails. Because I get a lot of emails and I don't be checking them, like, cause I'll get people emailing me on Google and stuff like that, and my Google response rate is like 50%. So I'm definitely that's on my to work on, and cause I feel like I wake up every day and I check social media, check DMs, check that. Yeah. I gotta get super on top of checking my emails, cause that's a major form of communication, and you know I could be hurting my business to a certain extent by not being on top of that form of communication.
Because some people are really, really into email.
They are.
I'm like a verbal type of a person, so I'll rather call. I'm looking for a phone number.
Child, you are a FaceTimer. Oh my God, you a FaceTimer.
I'm looking for like a phone number.
I'm like, girl, I text you. What would make you call me? One thing you gonna do is call and communicate.
Yeah, I'm verbal. So, yeah.
I'm a text communicator because I feel like I like to think, erase, start all over again.
Really?
Like, yes, even if I'm like in an argument or something, I like to do it over text.
Because you want to get everything you have to say out without somebody probably like screaming over top of you or you're both talking.
Exactly. And I could just
I'd rather talk in person.
I could think it out. In person too. It gotta be in person, but I'm not real big on like super being on the phone. I'm not even an extra phone person.
Texting don't get me. Because if I read something the wrong way, I'm automatically going to take it the wrong way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like text messages doesn't sit well with me. I rather, if I'm texting back and forth and I feel like this is going the wrong way, I would just call, be like, yo, I didn't mean it that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I can see it shifting somewhere else.
Right, exactly. I gotta get better with that because I'm a texter. I'm a heavy texter communicator.
Yeah. But sometimes people don't say things like you think they're saying it in the text messages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because sometimes texts could come off wrong, aggressive, or any type of way.
However you read it.
Yeah, whatever energy you reading it. Don't let it be in capital letters.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wait, is you yelling?
I know you were yelling.
I know you ain't yelling through this text.
So how do you feel about communicating with your spouse?
Ooh, I'm working on it. Cause I feel like I got this thing about me where if something is not that deep, I sweep it under the rug and try to move on. But that causes for buildups. And then by the time you do one little thing, I'm like, like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I should have, cause I should have spoke on when you did this. But instead I let it slide, like, swept it under the rug and stuff like that. So now I feel like I'm getting real big with communicating with my spouse because, you know, if you don't communicate with your spouse, so much shit can get lost in transition. Y'all can get lost so easily because y'all don't communicate. It's so easy to go from the same page to a different book. Like, you know what I'm saying? You like, where did we go wrong at?
Yeah.
Like, we just was here.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wanna talk about everything. Or I wanna text about everything. Like, even if we can't talk, let's text it out. Because sometimes, like, depending on what type of person I was with, I'm with, aggressive, like, so sometimes we can't always communicate. We have to sometimes text each other and start off arguing through the text,
and then trickle down,
trickle it on down. Because sometimes I gotta get real beefy and remind you you can't out argue me. So it's like, once I bring you back down, whoop, 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 after I say all this stuff through text, and then bring it back down, now it's like, all right, let's talk on the phone, because we would have been screaming.
Yeah.
So now we can talk, but I'm getting real better with, like I said, wording stuff better and going, and like just going about things better.
Because I have seen you have a different approach on situations.
Like,
and then now,
and now it's
wait
anything
a minute,
to people.
You know what I'm saying? Just saying anything.
Just because I get upset.
Yeah. So I've seen your growth over the years. I have.
Yes, because before it's like, bitch, if you go low, I'm going to heaven.
Yeah.
Now it's like, if you go low, I'm going up here, or I'm going all the way away from you. Like, if we can't communicate this, if we can't communicate this out, I'm out, because communication is really key. And even, like I said, listening is a major part of communication, especially with a spouse. Yeah. You have to hear a person out. You have to know what a person needs, where, you know, what's going on with a person. If y'all not communicating, then y'all just end up two different ways. Yes. Communication is everything.
Yes, it is.
How do you feel about communicating with a spouse? Are you good at it?
I'm really good with communicating with a spouse.
You're a very vocal person.
I'm a very verbal person. I am. I'm going to let you know what you did, how you made me feel. I don't want you to make me feel like that again. Because I feel like, again, someone have to learn how to take care of you.
And how to treat you.
Know what I'm saying?
The way you want to be treated.
because and how you want to be treated, because everyone is not the same.
Everyone don't think the
just
same.
because you treated Sophia the way you treated her for all these years and she was okay with it, hey, I'm not Sophia. Don't treat me like that. I'm Sharkia. This is me. This is how I want to be treated. This is how I want you to treat me. I don't want you to talk to me like this, and I want to express myself, and I want you to express yourself. We're grown. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So communicating with someone that you love, or you're in a relationship with, that you love and that you're in a relationship with, it has to be, both parties have to be willing to give it a try.
Yeah, to
if
listen,
that makes sense. To
talk it
like,
out.
because if I'm just the one that's just, you did this to me, you did that to me, it's like, oh gosh, here she goes. She
whining, nagging, and it's like, no, I'm communicating.
Honestly, no, I'm not whining, I'm not nagging. I'm not always in my feelings.
Right,
You're doing these things to me, and I'm telling you, doing these things to me, and it's either you going to change, or I'm gonna get on out of here, because
absolutely,
we're grown, and I don't need someone that don't know how to treat me. You know what I'm saying? Or don't know what I need. And I want to be there for you also. So I need to try to understand you. Absolutely. So I need you to communicate with me and let me know what I'm doing wrong.
And men have a problem with that, and they don't realize it's okay to tell a woman, hey, let's sit down and talk. You hurt my feelings, or I don't like the way you're doing this. You don't have to just run outside and get another girl, or, you know, whatever. Talk to your spouse. You can change things. And another thing, every communication is not an argument. When I'm communicating with you, I'm not always coming at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you. I'm expressing myself. I'm letting you know how I feel. I'm not always coming at you. I'm communicating with you. And I need you to do the same thing with me so that we could remain on the same page, because that's where so many people lose sight at. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, you ain't even talking to her about that. It's like, oh, I know she don't do this. I'm just going to find somebody else that do it. Or whatever.
When it's like, you don't know what I do.
Where it's like, we could have really talked about this. Like, you know, anything, like whatever it is, we could have talked about this, and we could have came to an understanding. And men all the time don't know how to communicate. And they think that it's bitchy or in your feelings to let your woman or your lady know, baby, you hurt my feelings. You know, don't come at me like that.
Because we do things that hurt God's feelings too.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we don't really know, because we're just thinking like, oh, I ain't messing with nobody. I ain't have sex with nobody. I ain't do this. I ain't do that. And it's like, yo, I didn't like that you went to this person's birthday party. I didn't like that you thought that was okay that you did this. You know
but it's also delivery.
Yeah, delivery. Yes, you have to let your woman know in a respectful manner. You can't, bitch, why the fuck you go to that nigga birthday party? Who the fuck you think I am? You think I'm not? Exactly. No, nobody's listening to that.
I'm not listening to that.
Calm it down and speak to me like, you know.
And it's like, make me feel wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't come at me. Don't, like, make me feel wrong, baby. You know, like, damn, you out here, you at this, you doing this, and the third.
How
like,
you making me look?
How you think I look, or how you
think I feel,
or are you thinking about my feelings, or you this and that? It's a way to communicate. It's a way to check a person. It's a way to go about everything without screaming and yelling.
Bitches and hoes, and I think a lot of guys don't know how to talk to women.
They don't.
As soon as they get so upset, it's you a hoe, you a bitch. First of all, who you talking to? And then this creates something else, you know what I'm saying?
And now we talking to each other crazy.
And then we talking to each
other
other
crazy. When they
crazy
didn't have to go there.
you're calling me bitches and you're calling me hoes, and then now I'm calling you broke ass niggas, and I'm calling you ugly. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, why we gotta go there? Why are we doing this to each other? Why are we verbally abusing each other?
We don't have to do that when we can just simply communicate, sit down, talk about it, even if it can't be at this moment. If you feel like you're too upset and you need to, take a break, whatever, and come back, then it's like, let me holler at you, let me talk to you. The way you was carrying yourself, I don't appreciate that. I don't like how you was doing this. I need you to carry yourself like a woman. Ain't you seeing you on this, that, and the third? Well, be that woman. You get what I'm saying? Make me feel like, damn, you know what? My man is right.
Yeah, because
I shouldn't even be doing that.
Girls going to make a guy feel that way.
Yes, we do.
We're going to be like, you hurt my feelings, you made me like a nut, you did it, and it's like, damn, man, I messed up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And women, we can take accountability the same way, but it got to be the right approach. You don't have to rah-rah with a woman. A simple sit down and talk and communication.
Yeah.
Damn, the word of the day. Wait, is that 3 words? Communication is key. 4 words. Communication is key. Seriously, like, we gotta communicate.
Is definitely key.
With every relationship in your life, with your parents, your children, your loved ones. Yes. Freaking everybody. The world runs off of communication. It's a way to go about things. Like, people have to get
better with communication.
They have to.
So with that being said,
we're done communicating.
We'll see you guys next Sunday.
It's a wrap.
What's the chat?
What's the chat?